Woke up today, smile on my face, may not go my way, still got my face.
I grew up in Cobblestone.
It's a nice little place.
I haven't been there in many years, praise God, but
Yeah.
I mean, my dad and I were there, and then across the street, it used to be the Slapshot Lounge.
Yep.
I don't know if you remember
It's
that.
Mike's now.
Is it? And
Yeah.
you remember the Slapshot, though?
No.
Oh, God. I mean, that was forever ago. Anyway, welcome, Harold. We've got, listen, Harold Carter in the house, and, I mean, a vet, Vietnam vet, Gulf War vet, race car driver. You've done, obviously, rodeo as well. You've done everything, and so we're super excited to have you on and just get your life experiences shared with everybody. I think it's really powerful, especially with all the craziness going on in the world today.
Yeah.
So really interesting time, and it happens to be 9/11 as well.
I appreciate it. Start off with, I did 2 trips to Vietnam with the Marines. Volunteered both times. And then got into the rodeo in 1967, toward the end of my Marine Corps.
What led you to that? What drew you to that?
Well, it was in the Marine Corps at Memphis, Tennessee, or Millington, I should say, where the Naval Air Base is for the Marines and Navy for working on jets and helicopters. So I went there to become a crew chief on a helicopter. But as it was, they had a rodeo that weekend, and
You just had to go.
I just had to go. And
So
from
what was
there,
the first event you went in?
First event was right on the base, sponsored by the Navy, and I just enjoyed it. I did it on a bet.
See, and they say gambling is so bad.
Well, my uncle had a farm when I was a kid growing up, and I worked on his farm in the summers.
Yeah.
And then he had a pony I used to ride all the time, so that's where it really all started.
So was the first thing you did was bronc horses?
No, the first thing I did was bulls.
Oh, gosh. How did that go?
Not too well. Broke my back the first year, but
Oh, no.
after that I started riding. I'd laid off for a year because of the doctor, and then once I got back into the bulls, I started on the bareback and saddle broncs. Was no good at the saddle broncs. Couldn't get my timing. Bareback was fair, and bulls was better.
What's the difference between saddle bronc and bareback? Bareback, obviously, no saddle.
Bareback, there's no saddle. You just got a handhold.
Okay.
With the saddle broncs, you got a saddle without a horn on it, and you got a rope and a halter. And you got timing you got to do with the spurs.
Yeah.
Spurring action.
So
Bulls, you just hang on.
You just hang on for dear life.
You got a strap on the bulls. You got a bull rope, and then you wrap your hand a certain way, and then you just hang on. It's balance. It's all balance on the bulls.
So you were, the very first time that you entered this, it was bareback?
Bulls.
Bulls, that's right. Okay. And so the first time that you did that, how did that fare? You didn't break your back on that ride, did you?
Oh no, I fell off.
Yeah.
Ate a lot of dirt.
But you won the bet.
Yeah, I won the bet.
Okay.
Guys thought I was afraid.
they didn't think you would do it.
No, they didn't.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about just your history. Where did you grow up? What drew you to the
I
military?
was born in Jacksonville, Illinois,
Okay.
in the town, and then my uncle had a farm in Quincy, Illinois, and I used to go there on the weekends and work with him ever since I was 7, because I like the farm animals and I like the farm. So, and that's where it all kind of began, I guess, because I liked my farm animals, and I used to go hunting out there ever since I was 12 and learn how to hunt by myself and hunt at night.
Ooh.
I wouldn't really hunt. I'd take a shotgun with me, but I would learn how the animals did at night. I got to the point where I could tell a human walking in the dark against a deer, against a rabbit or a squirrel, or a dog or a fox. You could
So you
tell
just
the difference.
posted up in the woods and learned.
Just sat there and listened. And I used the same procedures in Vietnam.
Yeah, so that carried over and served you well in Vietnam.
It did. It kept me alive.
Yeah. So when did you enlist? How old were you?
I was 17. I tried at 16, and I was at the induction center, and then the recruiter next door to where Mom and Dad lived, he said, "Where's Harold?" He said, "Well, he's at the induction." He's, "What?" He's too young. So he come up to Chicago and picked me up and took me back home. And I had to wait another year.
So you weren't drafted. You voluntarily
I
went
volunteered.
in. And
I
what,
wanted to be a Marine.
Yeah, and what drew you to that?
John Wayne's movie, Sands of Iwo Jima.
Wow. You saw that movie. I've never seen that movie, but you saw that movie and you were just inspired to...
Yeah, I was inspired to be a...
What was it about the movie?
It was the training and the way you went through it and how they fought. It was all heart. And I just wanted to be a Marine, career Marine.
Where do you think that came from, though? Because, I mean, if you look at these things that we're talking about, enlisting, right, being a Marine, riding bulls, race cars, like there's a certain level of danger to all of those things, but you're actually drawn to that, it seems.
Apparently, it never bothered me. Danger never bothered me. Because when I left home for the first time for Vietnam, Dad said one thing to me. He says, keep your eyes and ears open, your mouth shut, and your head down. And I listened to that all through the 2 trips I made to Vietnam. But the one thing I always remember was, and I told Mom and Dad, don't expect me till you see me, and I could either be in a body bag or I'd be walking.
Yeah. What was the most defining moment for you being in the service?
The most defining moment was the things I'd learned how to evade the enemy. And I learned that at home by listening to those animals at night.
Yeah.
I always told people and other guys, you hunt with your ears at night. You hunt with your eyes during the day.
Yeah.
They keep you alive.
So you're basically, I mean, Vietnam, I've obviously never been there before, but you hear like you're in the bush, right? Or you're in the jungle, essentially.
You're in the jungle, and there's parts where it's nothing but sand and hot and desert type.
Yeah.
But it's one of the most deadliest countries you'll ever be in.
Wild. And I hear it's beautiful as well.
It is.
Yeah.
We saw parts of it. It looks just like Waikiki with the palm trees on the beach, but still deadly.
Were you stationed in Waikiki at all?
No.
No. I asked because my dad was in the Army as well and did some Vietnam stuff, and he was stationed in Hawaii for a while.
They dropped me off at Hawaii for about 2 days, then sent me back to Clark Air Force Base in the Philippines, then sent me back to Yokosuka, Japan, to the hospital there because I'd caught malaria. Almost died. So, and then they gave me orders when I healed up. Says, you can go anywhere you want. I said, well, let's go back to Vietnam.
You chose it.
I chose it, yeah. Reason being, I wanted to help the people.
Yeah. I mean, you're fighting for your country right at that point.
Fight for the country and help the people in southern Vietnam, just the atrocities I saw that they were doing to their own people was mind-boggling and scary.
Yeah. And you wanted to be part of that solve.
I just like to help.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just the kind of guy, I'm not a taker, I'm a giver.
Yeah.
I like to help.
You were built to serve. You were built to serve.
Exactly.
Yeah. Tell us about that, right? I mean, obviously being in the military, you're in service, but then there's this other component to you where it's like you truly want to, I mean, there's just people like us in the world, right? Like it's more about others.
Well, I was out of the Marine Corps about 11 years after the Marine Corps I got discharged. And I served 6 years, but then 11 years later, I joined up with the Army.
So you were in the
Guard.
Marines and the Army.
Right, and I finished up with 22 and a half total years active service.
Wow. Well, thank you for your service.
Appreciate
On behalf of anybody watching and listening, thank you for your service.
Appreciate that. What's nice is that even today, after Vietnam, it was atrocious how they treated us, our own country, and it hurt. Hurt deeply. But even today, I get kids from grade school saying thank you, and I'm surprised that their parents tell them about Vietnam.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised, and it's really nice.
Tell us about that pain of the country you just feeling like they didn't take care of, not probably just you, but many people that came back from war.
I lost a bunch of friends. I got over 200 of them on that wall in Washington, D.C. And there's times you want to cry, but you can't. You got to keep your head straight because you're in that country, and any minute things can happen.
Yeah.
So, and the things I've done, not pretty, and I regret some of those, but yet that's part of combat.
Yeah, for sure.
Part of war. You got to learn to live with it.
Yeah.
And these guys today in the Vietnam era that got PTSD, which I do have, I will say you have to talk about your experiences, otherwise it's going to eat you up.
Alive, yeah. And that's with anything, right? I mean, everybody has some shit that's gone on in their life, and you know, we have things from our childhood and all those things. I mean, heck, yesterday at our retreat, I was talking about my mom, you know, committed suicide when I was very young, and I've never really dealt with it. And just in the last month, I feel like God is like just keeps putting it on me that this is something that I now need to go deal with.
Well, see, that the one thing I had a hard time with was that I killed a little boy only because the Viet Cong soldier had wounded 4 of our guys with a grenade and picked him up and used him for a body shield. And I had to shoot through the kid to get to him. We had already injured 4 of our guys out of our squad of 11 guys.
Right.
So it left us in a hurt.
Yeah.
So that killing that little boy is a nightmare that I'll never live through.
Wow.
And that's why I've gone to mental health sometimes and talked to them about it. So that's why I say, all you Vietnam veterans out there, if you got PTSD, you do need to talk to somebody, somebody you can feel comfortable with.
And resources for that.
Resources, you got VA, hospital, mental health. You got some churches who've got veterans associations. You got the VFW and the American Legion, the Vietnam Veterans Associations, the Marine Corps League. They'll all got somebody that you can talk to about.
So a lot of encouragement for people to get that help. I mean, hopefully today somebody hearing that will take that step.
Yes.
And why don't they?
Because they get on drugs and they just feel lost. They feel like nobody likes them or wants them or loves them. And you're not going to be loved unless you take the first step and get the help.
Yeah. Yeah, really powerful stuff.
It is. It's hurtful, but you got to do it. And if you don't do it, you're just hurting yourself even more.
Yeah. So you returned home from Vietnam initially. What was that like? I mean,
I couldn't talk about it for 2 years.
Really?
And Mom would tell people, don't even ask him. He'll open up when he wants to. And then when I got married the second time, my second wife, she was a good Christian woman, and she helped me out get rid of those nightmares after 23 years.
Wow. A good wife.
A good wife.
So important.
It is. And she's gone. She's been gone since 2003. So, but we divorced in 93 because Desert Storm came up, and my unit was to go, and she couldn't handle it, and it was nobody's fault.
Yeah. So you're.
But we maintained friendship till she died.
What age when you go back in to Desert Storm?
Yeah, my job was to hunt for minefields.
Okay, and how old were you at that point? Or how long had you been out before you went back in?
I went back in 86 and got out in 97.
Okay.
But it didn't bother me. I was probably one of the older guys in my 40s.
Yeah.
But you got to know what to look for. And the unit I was with at that time was a combat engineer unit. And their job was to blow the minefields.
Okay.
So,
because you were telling me about this last week, where a big wire cable goes out into the field.
Yeah, they shoot this cable out there. It goes about 200 yards, and it's a det cord type cable. So when they shoot it out there, and they'll say fire in a hole, and everybody, you better get away because on 15 meters on each side of that cable, when it explodes, it'll blow up all those magnetic mines.
Got it. And 200 yards out, you said 2 football fields.
200 yards.
Wow.
Yeah, you shoot out there 200 yards.
Did anybody get from your unit, or did you see anybody from that? You know, we talk about friendly fire, but that's not fire, but essentially.
No.
Okay, so that's a pretty safe thing happening.
Pretty safe thing, and it's one of the good things. And then usually after they shoot that off, they'll take a couple guys with the handheld mine readers and walk. Just make sure they've got.
How do they pick those two?
Volunteers.
Volunteers, right? they're flipping coins over there, or they lost the bet that you won when it came to riding the bull.
Yeah, it could be, but no, it's the veterans today, even in Afghanistan and all these other countries they've been to. You need to talk to them.
Yeah.
I know they get PTSD. It's just that when the shooting starts, it's chaotic. It's nightmaric, especially when the mortars come at you or the rockets come at you. You don't know if your number's up or not.
Right.
When you get in a firefight, it's really chaotic.
And in the moment, how do you process that? Is it the training just kicks in? Instincts
It's reactionary.
Yeah.
Reactionary. Your training kicks in.
Instincts take over.
Instincts take over.
Yeah. It's kind of the fight or flight piece, probably.
It's the old saying, kill or be killed.
Yeah. Yeah. Wild. So what about, I mean, I just think about, I feel like I relate a lot of this stuff back to, you know, we're having conversations about camaraderie and team and serving and all of those things. A lot of that relates back to our business here at Wentworth Real Estate, you know, and the camaraderie is a big piece of that.
The camaraderie is like the unit you're in, you become brothers.
Yeah.
No matter what your race, color, or creed is, you're brothers.
All that goes out the window.
It goes out the window.
Yeah. Why can't it go out the window here in the homeland?
Because too many people are biased, and too many people that don't know about the military and don't know about life itself in these different countries that have never been there. They got their own opinions and own ideas, and yet they don't know a thing about those other countries.
Yeah.
Those third world countries, most of them are chaotic and in some type of a war.
All the time.
All the time.
Yeah. We actually had our team retreat just 2 days ago. We had a vet who served 20 years, and he was in the Navy as well as the Air Force.
Mm-hmm.
He flew U-2s, which is that crazy spy plane at 70,000 feet. Basically, you're an astronaut.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And it was just interesting, you know, that parallel, serving in two different units.
Yeah.
That's not the norm, obviously.
Yeah.
But a lot of the same talk about the brotherhood and those things. And one thing he talked about is every single day across the world, there's something crazy going on.
Well, there is. And it's the thing of it is, it's my opinion, is that I don't want no woman in my foxhole. It's chaotic enough for a man to see somebody blow it up and for a woman. And the first instinct of a man is to protect that woman. And you're losing your concentration on what's going on. I mean, there's some good women out there and good jobs, and they deserve those jobs. But the thing of it is, when the shooting starts, it's a nightmare.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a nightmare that nobody should have to live through.
Wild. What's an experience I think that you could share with the audience? Something that happens in the military that is a good thing, and they just don't know that it's happening or occurring.
Family support groups.
Okay, that's great.
I was in charge. I was the NCO in charge of in Texas of the family support groups. And what you do is you deal with the wives. The wives have what they call a tree. They can call each other in case one.
A tree?
A tree.
A tree. Okay.
Yeah.
Tree.
It's like a family tree. And what you do, you get their phone numbers and addresses, and if your husband or boyfriend or brother goes overseas and the woman is pregnant, got a kid, all these women get together and call these ladies. We need to take her to the hospital. And as the NCO in charge, you got to be there for that lady to help her at the hospital with the insurance and all this other stuff. So, and family supports, they do help support the soldiers by getting things like socks and soap and razors and send to them overseas, things that's hard to get for them. They support them in that way.
So that's a great thing.
They do need to write the guys overseas. Those letters mean a lot.
Yeah. I remember being at camp and the letters meant a lot. I can't imagine being overseas and getting those letters.
The only letters I ever got was from my mom, and that was it.
Really?
Yeah, and it was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough.
What, I mean, again, today's 9/11. Charlie Kirk shot yesterday.
That's sad.
Children shot at a school yesterday as well. I mean,
sad.
all this crazy shit going on.
I'm sorry, but all these schools, I don't care where you're at in the United States, every school needs to get a security door like they have at the airports.
Yeah.
That's going to stop a lot of that. And as for ICE doing what they're doing, I commend them. They need more of that. And Trump is sending them into these big cities. And I don't care whether them mayors or governors like it. It's got to be done. We got all these illegals taking over this country, and we can't have that.
So in favor of shutting, because there's a lot of talk right now, right, of bringing in the National Guard.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah. Well, even some of the mayors of those cities are like, yeah, bring them.
Yeah, some of them.
Yeah, some of them, not all, of course.
Yeah.
Everything's such a political agenda, it seems. You know, it's
See, that's another thing. You need to keep the politics out of the military.
Yeah.
The military needs to be run by itself without the politicians.
Is it possible? I mean,
No.
I know it could be done, but is it possible that's ever going to happen?
No.
Not anymore, no.
No. Everything's too political, and that's the problem. Politicians have got their hands in too many things.
Yeah. Well, with all of that going on, with all the craziness, right? I mean, let's go back to 9/11 because I'm 53. I remember exactly where I was. I was actually here in Linden at Lakeview Farms. I had just taken a horse out to the paddock. I was training racehorses at the time, and I came back through, and on a little TV about this big in black and white, started seeing all of this happening. I'm sure you remember where you were. And
Yeah, I just retired in 97 from the military, and when that happened, I tried to get back in. And all I needed was get Governor Granholm at the time sign my papers. She wouldn't even see me.
Really?
I asked for her office, and she wouldn't see me.
And so do you feel? I don't know that regret is the right word, but does it still bother you that you didn't get in? Obviously.
Yeah, because I want to go help.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to go help.
Yeah.
I want to be part of it because I was a combat veteran that'd been there to help these new kids coming up in the military, keep them alive as much as I could.
Yeah. Wild. What about just modern day American advice?
Modern day American advice.
I mean,
We need to go back to the draft. Now, Norway has a draft that I think the United States should adopt. From the time they're 18 to 26 years old, they have to serve 2 years either in their home guard or their military. They can do 1 year at a time or both years. We need to adopt that kind of problem.
And what do you think that'll do for us?
We'd have a limited draft, we'd have a good draft, and I think we'd have a better military.
What about the youth?
An understanding of it.
What about the youth today in America? So different. I mean, you're how old? Tell the audience how old.
I'll be 79 in 3 weeks.
79. So we're talking about 15, 16, 17, 18, 19-year-olds.
I went in at 17, right.
Yeah.
There's probably one and maybe 5,000 or 6,000 that's a career military person, male or female.
So it's that rare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the rest are there for their tour of 2 or 4 years, whatever. I've met a lot of people in the military I got respect for, and they got respect for me.
Do you think there's a lot of kids that have interest in the military and their parents talk them out of it?
That's a good possibility because my first wife did that to my kids.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
To the children of somebody that served 21 years or
22 and a half.
22 and a half years. That probably didn't go over well.
It didn't.
Oh, shoot. Let's talk about racing.
All
right?
right.
I mean, how in the hell did you go from? Well, what was the next thing? So you went from military to bull riding, and how long did you compete at that? What was kind of the?
I was 11 years riding bulls.
Okay.
Bareback and saddle broncs.
You had to have some crazy injuries.
I did. I broke my back, fractured my neck, dislocated my shoulder, broke ribs, broke my foot, broke my toe, shattered my right hand. But, it's
Just a couple.
just a few injuries. But it's the old saying, cowboy up.
Cowboy up.
No matter how bad you're hurting, you need a cowboy up.
During COVID, my family, I'm like, okay, we got to get the hell out of here.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started looking places we could go, and I found a farm in Tennessee, and it was in Lebanon, Tennessee.
I know where it's at. Yeah.
Yep.
We used to go rodeo there.
Really?
Yeah.
So we load the family up and we head out, and I mean, there's no one on the highway and nothing's open. We're pulling over on the side of the highway to pee. There's
Yeah.
nothing open, and we get down there, and a gentleman meets us at the gate.
Mm-hmm.
He says, "I'm Cowboy," and we follow him in, and we meet his wife, Deb, and turns out he had been a professional bull rider. He's from Edmonton, Alberta.
Yep.
He was actually, interestingly enough, he designed subdivisions. So he was a land developer as well, who got involved in the rodeo. And he rode professionally after the age of 70. So there's a senior tour.
Yep.
And
There is.
we just we had such a great time there. I mean, basically the world was shut down, and here we're out on this farm having a ball. Kids are riding horses, driving golf carts. It was a 50-acre farm, and their neighbor was, Charlie Daniels.
Yep.
And so, we meet these salt of the earth people, just really, really, really good people, and we got pretty close with them. And so we had gone back there 5 times since. Once with the family, a couple times I took people from the team, went down. Some of the ladies went down for a group, but I heard all of his stories too. And when you talk about the injuries, it's one thing after another. He also broke his jaw. I mean, it's wild riding those bulls.
Well, I quit counting after 2 dozen concussions.
Yeah. Yeah, that you got PTSD from the Army, the Navy, the Army, the Marines, and bulls.
Yeah. Well, during the bull riding era, I raised quarter horses and showed them professionally for 27 years
Wow.
and trained them.
I trained standardbred racehorses before I got into real estate. That's what I did for a living from probably the time I was 19 until I was 33.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it.
Yep. Yeah, I love training horses for people. I saddle broke them the old way.
Do you have horses now?
No, I got rid of the horses years ago.
Okay.
And when I got rid of the horses, that's when I went into racing.
Okay. So now
Basically, I went into racing after the bull riding because I heard my daughter at a rodeo one day, and out of 4,000 or 5,000 people sitting there, you could hear your own daughter. And I lost concentration, and I bailed off, and it's time to quit when you lose concentration.
And why did that happen? Because you heard her fear?
I heard my daughter's voice.
Interesting. So you knew you just weren't focused enough anymore.
Nope.
Passion had burnt out, or what?
No, the passion didn't burn out. It's just that I lost concentration, and when you lose concentration,
You're done.
you're done.
Yeah.
It's just like in war. You got to concentrate on what you're doing.
Yeah. So what are the parallels between those things, right? I mean,
Concentration, reaction, common sense.
does that exist anymore?
With these kids today, I doubt it.
I mean,
Very
it is
few.
one of those things. It's like my dad used to always say, common sense is a mother, right? Because it's just so lacked.
The biggest thing with common sense is Congress. They have none.
What about a memorable story? Well, tell us more about the racing, right? Like you got into racing, a specific car, right? Sprint cars, and why that car, and what's like?
Well, I started off in Formula Indies,
Okay.
and it's a smaller version of the Indy type cars, but with snowmobile engines. And I had one with a 440cc LT gray engine, and I enjoyed those. It's fun, wild. Then I went to go-karts. Then I went to modifieds.
So you're just moving up and moving up.
Moving up. And then I went to midgets, and then I said, nah, I need a sprint car. So I went to Georgia and bought me a sprint car.
Wow.
And then from there, I took off.
So in the midst of all of that, what are you doing for a living outside of the military?
I'm retired.
No, but I mean in those times, like
In the military?
no, when you came out of the military, you retired out of the military, and
Okay.
then that was that. Or
No,
did you
I
work
worked for a utility company
Okay.
as a bill collector and then also a drafting engineer.
Okay. So when you were collecting bills, did you tell them, listen, I was in Vietnam, I was in Gulf War,
Nope.
I rode bull.
Nope, they'd send me out.
Pay or
to-
else.
Some of these bill collectors go out there and get threatened, so they'd send me because I knew I wouldn't take any crap from the people. I wound up getting the bills because I had a way of talking to these people who made the threats that
Yeah.
they just give up.
And it wasn't about probably threatening them. It was probably about
Use common sense how
Yeah.
to talk to them.
humanizing with them.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Tell us about your relationship with horses, because I feel like that kind of.
Well, I've seen a lot of guys who train horses, and a lot of good trainers out there. And then I've seen some who thought they were trainers use a whip on a horse, or use a 2x4, or use tacks in the reins and stuff. And you don't use that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Me, I never whipped a horse. Didn't need to. I talk to my horses, and sometimes I'll run alongside of them to before I get on them, make sure they
Yeah.
can trust me. And I had a few horses that were pretty rough and rank, but
Yeah.
after I got them broke, we became friends.
Yeah.
You got to become friends with your horse. It's like you treat a horse like you treat a woman, with respect.
Yeah. I think there's a good parallel there, right? I mean, when we talk about common sense and we talk about bill collecting, right? You're not bill collecting because you're threatening people. You're humanizing, having conversation. It's kind of, I think the word is patience. Like with horses, I always loved learning the horse's behaviors. And
Yep.
and it teaches you to be one. You always have to be one step ahead.
Well, see, that's what a lot of cowboys do that ride bulls today, even. You go back behind the chutes where all the pens are at, where all the bulls at and the horses.
Mm-hmm.
You watch those bulls, you see which way they turn a lot of times. You talk to the other cowboys, he's coming out of that chute, left or right, how's he come out?
Yeah.
They'll tell you.
Yeah. I think you need to own a racehorse.
I did it once.
You did?
Yeah, I used to train them.
Really? What kind?
Racing quarter horses.
Oh, quarter horses. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
I'm talking like a racehorse.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to the Kentucky Derby?
No, but I've been to a lot of the racetracks and made bets.
Yeah. Do you enjoy that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I know, it's exhilarating.
Yeah.
We have a horse racing Sunday in New York
Yeah.
because, as I said, I trained standardbreds for many years. Now we own thoroughbreds.
Yeah.
And we have a 2-year-old making his first lifetime start Sunday in New
Oh,
York.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah. So
That's cool.
I think we're going to fly out. We go down Monday to Kentucky to Keeneland for the baby sale, which are all the Kentucky.
I've been to Keeneland several times
Have
down
you?
at the racetrack, yeah.
A beautiful place.
It is pretty.
Yeah. So we go there Monday through Thursday, and then this horse just happened to be in Sunday. So I think we're going to fly to New York, and then from New York to Keeneland.
Yeah, I love horses, and I love training them. I love working with them.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, it's a passion of mine. I always say, I spent, 15 years in horses, now houses, right? But I definitely will go back to training at some point.
Well, if I was completely retired, I'd probably go back and try to find me some property and buy a couple of horses.
Yeah,
Start training again. I enjoyed that.
I love it. Tell us about a memorable race. Something, I'm sure you've hit the wall.
Oh, I've hit the wall 2 or 3 times.
Yeah. What's
But
that
with the
like?
new containment seats
You got
that we've
PTSD from that too, probably.
Maybe. Rattled my brain a
Yeah.
time or two.
Yeah.
But no, racing to me is, if I can make the top 10, I'm happy. I have never won a race except when I drove the Formula Indies. But if I make the top 10, I'm satisfied.
Yeah.
To me, that's a good performance. But my basic thing in racing is make sure the other guy's safe.
Yeah. I'm sure.
I'd never go on a racetrack without saying a prayer.
I bet.
Never, even for practice.
I mean, essentially, you're going into combat, right?
Yeah.
Because one wrong turn and you're done.
Well, that's it. In Vietnam, again, I carried this little pocket Bible the chaplain gave me, and I always read the 21st and 23rd Psalms. And I kept that in my left breast pocket all the time. And to me, that's what helped get me through this wars.
Yeah, yeah. Being relentless is one of our core values.
Yeah.
And so that resilience piece that you have to have.
You got to have patience. You got to learn patience. It's not given to you. You got to learn it. Resilience, you got to learn it.
Yeah.
Common sense, you got to learn it. You should have it, but most don't.
Do you think they don't, or they just don't tap into it and they don't apply it? Because I feel like God
Well,
gives...
let me tell you a story.
Yes. Please tell me a story.
We had a captain who was a West Point graduate. He thought them captain's bars thought he was God, the way he treated people. And I said to him one day, Captain, there's three kinds of people. There's the ignorant. They don't know. They've never been taught. They're not educated, but they're willing to learn. And when they do learn, they do a good job.
Yeah.
They come up and understand what it's all about. You get the dumb. They have a hard time comprehending, but they do learn, and it takes a while, but they do a good job. And then you got the stupid. Those with all the degrees that think they're God, all those who think they know everything, and they don't. They're book smart. They're not common sense smart. So the captain said to me, he says, "Are you calling me ignorant?" I says, "No, sir, you're not that intelligent."
So you put them below the ignorant and the stupid.
Exactly. All the degrees he had, because he couldn't figure it out. It took him 3 days to figure it out. What I was talking about is like common sense.
Yeah. Talk to us about wisdom. I always found myself, especially when I raced horses, right? I always found myself, like, I love tapping into the people 20 years older than me and learning from them and understanding.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The older people have got the knowledge you need.
What do you feel like our youth just don't believe that anymore, or there's so much at their fingertips and that's what they're tapping into?
I feel the problem with the youth today is too much of this computerized phones and stuff. Too much on the phones.
Yeah.
And not going out in the open and doing physical work.
Yeah. What was your first job as a kid?
I was 7 years old, cutting beans out of my uncle's farm.
7.
Cutting weeds out of the bean fields.
Cutting beans out of the bean field at 7
50
years
cents
old.
a day.
Oh, my gosh.
And at the end of the week, he'd take us into town, and I could spend my money.
Oh, that's awesome. And 50 cents probably got you quite a bit back then.
Back then, that was big money.
Yeah. So what was that was for your uncle. Did you have a first job that was kind of outside of the family that you took?
Yeah, that was in high school. I was a junior, and I was helping to build fences.
Okay.
Chain link fences with a guy. He hired me on. I was underage, but he hired me on anyway.
Love it. Love it. What, give us just what's your life, what's your, it sounds like your purpose has always been serving other people.
I enjoy serving other people. I enjoy helping. There's times when I've been unemployed, I got my payment checks. I still help people at the church who didn't have food or something like that.
Yeah.
I do that all the time.
What's the longevity to long life? Because you're 79, and man, I don't see any.
I'm shooting for 100.
You should be, 100%. I always tell everybody I'm going to live till I'm 113. I don't know why. That's just the number. I'm probably shooting too low.
I just got a pacemaker put in 3 weeks ago, and I feel better than I've ever felt in the last 3 years.
I only laugh because I'm like, you were with us 2 and 3 weeks ago. When the hell did you put this thing in?
Yep. But I feel better than I have in the last 3 years, and now I'm ready to go racing next year.
Love it.
I'll get back in the car next year.
That's what I was going to ask. What's next for Harold?
Racing next year.
Yeah. And what about in the meantime?
Well, in the meantime, I got one surgery coming up. I'm going to have surgery on my hands and arms for this neuropathy.
Yeah, you mentioned that last week.
Get that done, heal up, and then come early spring, like March, I'll start getting in that car and start testing and tuning. And when the races start, usually about April, I'll be ready.
Yeah. Who's in your life right now on a personal level?
You would ask that. I don't have anyone. I wish I did.
Well, that's what I mean.
I'd like to find a nice lady.
Yeah.
That wants to get married, or
You would get married again?
I would.
Wow.
I would. To me, that solidifies me as a person. I'm the kind of guy that believes in marriage, that believes in partnership, soulmates. You know.
Yeah.
I would love to get married again. Yeah,
That's awesome.
I'd like to find a nice lady.
Yeah, that's awesome. But you're not actively looking.
Yeah, I am.
You are. Would this person be your age or much younger? Or it doesn't even matter?
I put anywhere from 10 years younger to 5 years older.
Okay. All right.
And the thing with it is, I've been on that internet a few times.
Have you?
And some of them women tell me I'm not real. I said, well, lady, if I'm not real to you, you don't need me.
Well, my wife and I met my wife on Match.com.
Yeah.
I mean, I went on. I didn't know. I've quit drinking. I was kind of trying to get my shit together. You know, it's after I was racing horses and transitioning into real estate. And I'm like, how am I going to meet a girl? Because I don't want to go to Mo-Doggies at midnight anymore. And so I put a profile on Match.com, and it was goofier than hell, I thought. And then she showed up with no photo, and I sent her a message just basically saying, like, welcome to the shit show, right?
Yeah.
And we went on a date, and that was that.
Good for
unbelievable.
you.
That was heaven sent, no doubt about it.
Well, I put on their profile that I like to shop, I like to fish, I like cards, I like cooking, I like resale shops, and
cows,
auctions, horse shows, racing.
I mean, you check the boxes for everybody. There's got to be
and
something.
ladies say, well, nobody, when they talk to me, they say, no men like to shop. I said, well, I do. Is there a problem?
So if you like horses, shop. Basically, if you like spending money, Harold's ready. Right?
I don't have a whole lot of money, but I try to make do what I do.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're a great man. I mean, we've had the blessing of meeting Harold because he stopped in here and with the race car, and we ended up sponsoring him. And more than sponsoring you, we've made a real friend, and we're grateful for that.
Well, I feel you guys have been real good to me and a good friend. I have only one thing to say about myself.
All right, say it.
I ain't nobody special. I'm just a man.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what I'll have put on my grave.
Well, Harold, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much. Any final takeaways that you want to share?
The only thing I can say is that today these kids need to learn common sense.
There you have it. How do they learn that?
Listen to the older people.
There you go, right? Gain that wisdom and then apply it.
Go to the grandparents, and they'll show them how to learn.
You know what I find really interesting? My wife and I were talking about this. Grandparents are not as involved in kids' lives the way they used to be.
That's because the kids don't want to do anything with the grandparents. They think they're too old. Well, it don't matter what your age is. Common sense should take over.
Yeah. I mean, I always was with my of course, my mother passed, so I was with, my mother passed when I was 5. So I stayed the night with my grandparents a lot, and that's probably why. But I still feel like even back then, grandparents were at the house when kids were young. They were there all the time, and it seems like that just doesn't exist anymore.
Well, that's it. My grandfather, Robbie, he was deaf from the time he was born. We had 17 grandkids. I'm the only one that ever go fishing with him or do things with him.
Even back then.
Even back then.
Yeah.
And when I went to Vietnam, I gave him all my fishing equipment because I told him I don't know if I'll be back or not. And the tears in his eyes. And when he saw me, the first thing we did was grab our poles and go fishing.
Go fishing. Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well,
Yep.
Harold, thank you so very much.
It's my pleasure, John.
Thank you for your service. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for
Appreciate you and all your people here.
Oh, well, thank you.
And I brought him some stuff to give out to the kids at Halloween, and I don't mind giving.
Yeah, we got the big Halloween event coming up soon. Are you going to be there?
If you want me there, I'll be there.
Yeah, heck yeah. You're welcome to anything we do. You know that.
Now, did he dress up or something?
I don't know. You'll have to talk to Stacy about that.
Okay.
I just pay the bill.
I'd like to see a racehorse sometime.
Well, listen, when we have we'll see what happens with this horse, and I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
We'll if because we have New York and then we're flying directly to Keeneland, it's a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
But we'll take you to a race for sure.
Well, I'd like that.
It'll be a riot because a lot of times we'll drive down to Kentucky for the race.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely take you with us.
Well, I appreciate
Sound
that.
good?
Sound good.
All right. You don't snore, do you?
No, not that I know of.
All right. If you do, we'll just get you your own room. It's fine.
Well, that's fine.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for checking out this episode. Harold, appreciate you very much, man. God bless you, and thank you for your service again.
Well, I bless you guys for what you do for all the people around here.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
I'll be okay. I'll be okay.